Hi there, I'm Mike, and what I have for you today is this. I just got it in the mail from Hasbro Pulse, making this the shortest I've ever gone from getting something to recording a video on it in years, which is saying a lot. Anyways, I got this today, like I said, and I'm pretty interested in it. I wasn't super excited about it, to be honest with you. I kind of totally forgot that it was a thing that existed, but it came with no warning. I did get an email from Hasbro saying it charged sometime last week, and then it showed up today because apparently Hasbro is having issues with their notification system. Fun fact, a little pro tip for you there. If you want to see what's coming from Hasbro, they use FedEx. And this works for anyone that uses FedEx. Download the FedEx app, create an account. It shows you everything that's coming from anyone to you, to your address. That's a lot of nothing. Let's talk about the figure because that's what we're here for. This is a 2-pack that comes with Luke Skywalker and a Grogu. And, you know, being the reviewer that I am and sort of a completionist, but not so much anymore, I was really curious about how much of this is new, how much of this is reuse. Like, is this worth it for someone to get? The last video I did with the Cad Bane and Cobb Vanth, that was also a Book of Boba Fett, and we're gonna start getting more stuff from the show, and you might be wondering, like, why? It's been, you know, over a year. It's almost 2 years since it came out. Why are we just now getting stuff? And that's because that's how long it takes to make toys. So this is what we have here. Luke Skywalker and Grogu. We have a nice little render on the front. We have a little side mural thing on the back. This does have a number, so unlike the Cad Bane and Cobb Vanth, this has a number. This is number 7. I don't know what's before that, though. Up here, we have a little blurb. It says, to help him hone his skills and understand the ways of the Force, Grogu trains with a new Jedi Master, Luke Skywalker. So that's very bare bones. And then this is what we have. This is what comes in the box here. Now, we are going to start seeing the older style packages, but this is one of the little remnants of the newer style that we've got. And then this will then become the older style, and then the older style will become the newer style. Let's take a look at the figure itself, starting with the Luke Skywalker. Now, I have brought out more figures, of course. I'm going to bring in some light here so that we can properly take a look here. I'm trying not to wash this out. I feel like it's trying to wash it out because it's very black. So it's hard to show up on camera with the light without it kind of washing out. But anyway, I feel like that looks really good. So one of the things I wanted to know, of course, is, you know, is this new? What's new? How much of this is new? Because my first instinct is, you know, it's going to be the same as the last Luke Skywalker we got. In fact, when I did the pipeline for this, I just, you know, decided to make my own and joke about putting the old Luke Skywalker in with a Grogu in the backpack that came with the Dagobah Luke and said, look, I've got it already. And it doesn't fit. So I was curious to see what they would change to make it fit. Would it be a new Luke? Would it be a new backpack? Because obviously also the Grogu is too small. So this is the Luke from it. And then we also do get a new Grogu. Now we'll compare this to the older Grogu that we got. This is a not fully articulated. This is fully articulated as a Grogu can get. But this is more in the style of the single release Grogu rather than some of the other ones that have come out, which are little statues with a movable head. This one actually has movable arms and stuff, which most of them do not. So we have Grogu and we have Luke. So let's start off with Luke, because that's the main course, right? How different is this Luke and the most recent Luke Skywalker from The Mandalorian, the Imperial Light Cruiser Luke? Now this was the first on the new body. Although it's not the first we saw, they actually introduced the new body on the Rancor tier. We still haven't seen that Luke Skywalker yet, but we did get this earlier in the year. Brand new construction from head to toe. And then this is actually very different. Now it's obviously kind of built on it, but there is a lot different here. And let's start with the head. And if you want, I've actually done a full review on this Luke Skywalker. So if you want to see more thoughts on that, you can go check out my review, where I review every Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker. But first we have a completely different head, and I actually think that this head looks a lot better. This head, I don't know, it's more rounded, I feel like, especially the hair. Whereas the hair here just, it's got a lot more detail, a lot more depth. It's a very similar haircut. We have the little swoop kind of down a little part right there, because that's what he looks like. But I definitely feel like this hair looks a lot more detailed, and the paint on it is a lot better. And then there is a definite difference in the face. It is subtle, but it is different. Like the lips, the mouth are different. The chin is less dimpled and cut. I feel like this is actually a pretty good looking Luke Skywalker, especially for being, you know, the CGI Luke Skywalker that we got in Book of Boba Fett and The Mandalorian. And that's kind of apt, because I feel like this Luke in the show didn't look great, and this one, while still being CGI, is better. It looked better in the show. So that's the head. Moving down, this is an overlay. There's definitely a body under here. I don't know if it's the same as this body or not, and it's really hard to tell. I've tried kind of lifting up the flap and stuff, but you just really can't tell, and I'm not taking my figure apart to see. So I'm just going to assume that there's just a blank kind of torso underneath, and then this is an overlay. And I like that they did that, because both of these are well done, and they're kind of done in a similar way, where there's an overlay that matches a skirt piece. This is the same thing, where there's a more fuller torso, sort of a karate gi almost is what it looks like he could be part of Cobra Kai, I guess. And then it matches the little skirt piece, which is a separate piece. The arms are complete reuse. They're the same. They have the exact same molded details in the fabric, folds, all of that stuff, the hands. Everything on here is the same as far as the arms go. So we have new head, a new chest overlay at least, a new waist. Now the actual waist underneath the crotch is the same. So we have reuse on the arms, reuse on the crotch underneath, and then we have brand new legs. The legs on this Luke right here, let me move the camera down. Whoop. There we go. The legs are brand new. You can see here we've got a lot more smooth, and we have these boots, whereas here we have a lot more molded detailing in the fabric. And then we have these boots, which are not a separate piece. On here, I think, yeah, they're a separate piece with the way the construction works. On here, they are not a separate piece. It's all this is one piece right here. And we have this kind of wrapped material that the legs of his boots were in the Book of Boba Fett. And the articulation is the same. It's the newer style knees with the hinge and the swivel. The same thing with the feet. You know, we got the butterfly joint up here. So, but it is hindered by this rubber overlay, which kind of sucks. But it does what it needs to do, I suppose. But for the most part, I would say that this Luke Skywalker is only slightly, the only holdovers are the arms and the actual crotch. Everything else, as far as I can tell, is different, which is nice. You know, even I would say, I wasn't sure about the torso, but even the neck. Like the neck is different because it doesn't have this little collar. So there's a lot different there, and that's actually, I wasn't sure about how much. I would assume that Hasbro would just reuse a lot, but it's surprising that they didn't. So that brings us to Grogu. This is the Grogu that we got. Let me go ahead and zoom in here. This is the new Grogu. And then this is the old Grogu. This is the standalone, where it was just called the Child, back when we didn't know his name. And I have to say, there's also a lot different here. Even the head is different. The hands, the arms are different. They're molded so it doesn't want to pop out as easily. And the chest, or the torso, he's only torso. The torso is even molded different. You can see here that it comes down a lot further than it comes here. And then the body is more straight up and down, whereas here it kind of flares out. So there is a lot different here. It's a brand new Grogu, even though, like, how different can you make Grogu? He's a little bit taller, not much, but just a smidge taller, just barely taller. And then the other difference is on the feet. On the bottom, we have his little toesies, and this one does have a little hole in it, which we'll get into for the accessories. So, you know, again, there's a lot new here. Now, that doesn't mean that you need it. That doesn't mean you have to go out and buy it in your collection. You know, there are people that are like, I've already got a Luke, I've already got a Grogu, I don't need this one. But if you don't have a Luke and you somehow don't have a Grogu, these aren't bad options if that's what you're looking for. But one of the nice things about this, because this isn't just a 2-pack, you know, this is almost sort of an accessory pack. He comes with a lot of stuff because it is sort of a build-up pack. You know, kind of like the Mandalorian ones, and they always came with a lot of accessories as well. So the first thing he comes with, the biggest thing I would say, you know, for the set is this bag. Now, I don't think this bag is the right color. I know in the show, it was a very faded blue, and in person, and I'm colorblind, I would say that this is white. It definitely looks more white than blue, but it's a very, 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 very light blue. It is the exact same as the one that came with the Dagobah Luke. There's no difference other than the color, but it's the same molding. Everything is the same. So they did save some money there, although there is more paint obviously on here, which they're missing on here, which sucks. I would like some silver paint on here. So that's some missing paint so far. And you know, kind of going back to here, there's no paint on here except for, I think this is black paint right here because this is the color of the plastic, but this is shinier. So it's kind of a shinier material there. But other than his face, there's absolutely no paint on this figure. And then the same kind of goes for the Grogu. There's no paint. So far we're very light on paint. We do have some paint here. I actually haven't put this on yet, so you're watching me do this for the first time on camera. Although, you know, I have put the one on the Dagobah Luke, and if you want to see that, you can. I have a whole review on it. You can go check it out. It's a good video. It's one of my best, if I do say so myself. Getting the backpack on has always been a hard part of this, even on the Dagobah Luke one. So unlike the Mandalorian Grogu, this does fit the backpack, even though it's the same one. The other one does not fit because of the overlay. This one does. The other problem that we have with Grogu is that he's way too small. So what they did was they gave this little piece right here, and I don't know which way this goes on. I don't know if it's supposed to go this way or this way, but I feel like if it goes this way, you can't get it stuck in there. So it just kind of goes to the bottom like this, just to help prop him up, because he is pretty small. So this just gives him a way to kind of stand without you having to worry about him slipping down. So there we have Luke and Grogu on his back. So you can, you know, run around, do flips, whatever you want to do. I'll probably never be displaying it like this, but it's nice to have it. It's a neat option. They stand well, they look well, but that's definitely not where the accessories on here stop. The other major piece that this comes with is this little ground. It's a rock with moss on it. I actually love that they're doing something like this. This is a cool option. This is the kind of stuff I want to see more of in the Black Series, is world building accessories like this, where it gives us kind of a little base, you know, something other than just your shelf to sit on there, so it looks kind of nice. Now, it does have this. It doesn't come attached with this in there. I attached it, and it was really scary getting that ball down in there, and I'm scared to pull it out because I don't want to break it. It seems very thin and very brittle, and I didn't want to break it before I did this video, so we're gonna leave it in here for now. But there is this nice little kind of stand, and then there's another hole here. So that kind of goes in with the other accessories. First, that's what this is for. We have this little peg for Grogu because he does like to jump. So, you know, you can have Grogu jumping and flipping like he did in the show. And I like that. This is cool. I love this as an option. This is probably how I will be displaying my Grogu. But that's not all that he comes with. To go with this, of course, we have a nice little frog because he likes to chase those and eat them. Now, this frog is the exact same frog that came in the little Grogu pack, both the child and the newer one that came out, I think late last year, I think it was. There is a little bit of a color difference. This darker one right here is the one that came with this set, and the lighter one came with the other one, but they are the same mold. And that can just, you know, sit around, whatever you want to do with that, lose it, have your cat eat it. That's sadly what will probably happen with mine. And then it comes with a little training orb. Now this orb right here is the exact same orb that we got with the Skywalker Strikes. It is just painted differently because it, you know, this is what it looked like in A New Hope, pretty dirty. And then this is what it looked like in Book of Boba Fett. But it's the same physical mold. They didn't mold a whole new remote droid just for this because that would be kind of dumb. But I wanted to point that out to kind of show it off. Now you got a couple options for displaying this. It does also come with the exact same stand that the Skywalker Strikes came with. It's a little ball peg thing that you can kind of move around. It just fits there. One of these holes is an actual hole right there, and then the end just kind of goes in, and you know you can have it just kind of hanging out if you want. Like there's options. You got that going on. But there's a different display option, which I think is pretty cool. I'll probably never use this, but it's nice to have because the other way to display it is with this blast effect, which is pretty cool. So the same kind of thing. It goes into the hole and it just looks like it's kind of shooting the beam down. And then we have this plug right here. Now, if I move this away, this plug will go right down into this hole that we also have. So now it looks like Grogu is jumping away from a blaster shot, which I think is pretty cool. Like that's fun. This is the kind of thing that I absolutely love. I really do like this. I like this a lot. I think it looks really neat. You know, it's just kind of creative. It's just fun. It's the kind of thing I want to see more of in the Black Series. This is a fun little scene-specific display. So that's definitely how I'm going to be displaying my Grogu. I'm going to put that up here, and we're going to... There we go. Just kind of look like he's jumping away a little bit better. There we go. And then we have the little frog here, but that's not all he comes with. So again, there's a lot of stuff that he came with. So let's go ahead and pull the Grogu off here, because the next scene is supposed to be them kind of sitting down, and that's one of the kind of annoying things with this Grogu is he doesn't have any articulation other than his head and arms and the little feet swivel. He can't sit. But if you have a sitting Grogu, like I do, this is the one I believe that came with the... Oh shoot, I think this is the one that was the standalone. I don't think it's the one that came with the Grogu Ahsoka 3-pack. But anyway, so you can have him kind of sitting down with Luke Skywalker. Now, one of the downsides to this Luke Skywalker, especially with these kind of rubber pants, is that he doesn't really like to sit that well because the rubber gets in the way. But they've given you accessories to kind of do the choice. And if you've seen the Book of Boba Fett, you know what the choice is. So first, we have this nice little package that looks like a little Grogu head. It's really cute. It's well molded, well painted, and it looks really, really nice. It's just really small. And that is his chainmail. And then the other thing he comes with is Yoda's lightsaber. Now this is not lit. It's one solid piece. It's got a lot of paint on it. So basically all the paint for this set went to the accessories, and I'm kind of okay with that because there's not a lot going on here that there needs to be painted. It's not like there's apps that they didn't paint that they should have, you know. Other than this, that's the only thing I've come across where like they really should have painted this, but they didn't. But we have this Grogu lightsaber, or sorry, we have a Yoda lightsaber hilt. And he also comes with one that is ignited. And what's nice about this, first of all, two things. This is the kind of thing I've wanted Hasbro to do in the Black Series for a while. I actually briefly talked about it in, I think my Darth Malik review, where I want them to do lightsabers as if they're all one piece, because this can't come off. But if it falls, you know, on the ground, I don't have to worry about it snapping right here like I do everywhere else. They just basically painted the hilt, and I like that a lot better. And then we get a separate hilt for having an unlit lightsaber. Now, to go with this part of the choice, he also comes with this really tiny little chest, and the lightsaber hilt can go right in the chest. It actually fits right into the grooves, and it actually snaps shut. It's really well done. Let me get the details on here. You know, there's not a lot of paint, or there's no paint on it, but for the size, there's a lot of detail and stuff, and it's really, really nice. It's really, really well done. This is kind of a perfect little flavor piece. What's nice about this lightsaber, even if, you know, you never use it, even, he's like, because Grogu, obviously, he can't hold this. This is the Grogu that comes with. He can't hold this lightsaber. Luke looks ridiculous holding it. But what's nice about this is if you do have the Yoda that came with the Luke Skywalker Dagobah, now you do have a lightsaber that's sized to fit him, because the other lightsaber, this is the old Yoda with the old Yoda lightsaber. It's way too big. So it's nice having a newer Yoda lightsaber to go with a smaller Yoda that's appropriately sized for him. So that's neat. I'm glad that I have that now. And then, of course, the last accessory is Luke Skywalker's lightsaber, because, you know, it'd be weird. He didn't really use it. I think he did use it a little bit in the Book of Boba Fett, but he didn't really use it at all. Like, there was no reason for him to. But it's nice that he comes with it. The only downside is this outfit, which is screen accurate. Again, I'm not bagging on saying it's inaccurate or wrong or anything like that. But there's no place to hang this lightsaber on his belt. Like, the lightsaber pops off. This is basically the same lightsaber that came with the almost every other Luke Skywalker, but mostly the Mandalorian Jedi or Imperial Light Cruiser one. It's the same thing. He looks fine holding it. Like, he can hold it in some great poses because of the newer articulation. All that stuff is great. The only downside is that he can't hold it, or he can't store the hilt. There's no place for it to hang. So that kind of sucks, but it's not the end of the world, because, again, like, he didn't really have a spot to hang it in the show that I remember. So I don't know what they could have done other than just adding a spot, which isn't accurate. So it's like, you know, make it not accurate, make it accurate. I'd rather it be accurate. It's just kind of an annoyance, but it's not the end of the world. And that's Luke Skywalker holding that little Yoda lightsaber, because that's kind of fun. That is what you get. This is everything. I'm gonna bring everything that's in the box here. And again, there's a little filler piece in there. So this is what you get. This set retails for $45. And that, I'll admit, it's a lot. That's a lot of money. I didn't love spending $45 on it, but it was about the same as the other build-up packs. And as far as the other ones go, I think this one's actually pretty well done. The Grogu, there's a lot new here. In fact, almost everything is new. Like, this is reuse, the bag is reuse, this is reuse, the little droid, the little remote droid. And then, of course, the lightsaber is reused, Luke's lightsaber, but the Yoda lightsaber is new, the Yoda hilt is new, the little chest is new, the little Grogu chain thing is new. I guess this is reuse as well. So there's a lot new here, and the reuse that it has is good reuse. Like, this is what it should come with. And the fact that you can do this is just fun. That's something that I'm glad that you can do. I like this. I don't think it's for everyone. I think there's a lot of people out there that they just have no interest on this, and that's fine. This is not something everyone needs on their shelf. Will it have a spot on mine? Absolutely. Absolutely it will. I don't know where yet, but I'll figure out a display to kind of fit this in. But it's probably gonna, like, I'm probably gonna put this in my little accessory bag, and this is gonna go on my accessory bag, and probably these little pieces like this are gonna go in there so I don't lose them, or my cat doesn't steal them. I'll probably put this in there too, although I like having little creatures out on the shelf because it just makes the shelf feel more alive and lived in. I'll probably put the little Actually, I might give Yoda the lightsaber because I usually have him on Luke's back. But I don't know, just for fun, I'll probably have him holding that lightsaber just for fun because, you know, I can. Why not? That's it. I'm going to give this set a 3.5 out of 5. There's a lot more new than I thought there would be. And that's impressive. That's a nice turn of events. It's not what I expected. I just don't know how necessary it is, but for the people that just want everything, like, you know, when I was a kid, I didn't care how much screen time someone had on screen for the movies. If they were in the movie, I wanted a figure of them, whether they were old person, an alien, whatever. I didn't care if they were in Star Wars. I wanted a toy of them, and that hasn't changed for me. I want an action figure of everybody. So this is a specific set with Luke in a specific outfit with a specific set of accessories to show off a very specific sort of time or scene in the show, and I like it. I like that. I'm looking forward to getting the next Luke Skywalker. That's the final duel that we had shown off very, very soon after I did my last Luke Skywalker review, that we saw that final duel get revealed. So I'm looking forward to getting that. And I hope at some point we get the Jabba's Palace version of this. And then I think we'll pretty much be done with this Luke setup. But until now, milk it, Hasbro. Give me all the versions, because I like Star Wars. I want toys of this. I want it on my shelf. I want it represented, and this is cool. Again, I understand it's not for everyone, and let me know down in the downstairs area. Is this something that you're looking forward to? Is this something where you're like, yes, I want this scene. I like Book of Boba Fett, or I did like Book of Boba Fett, but I liked the Mandalorian Luke Skywalker parts of Book of Boba Fett, which is a fair assessment because it did feel like a completely different show. So, you know, it kind of is what it is. But let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. I like it. It's not the worst thing in the world. Maybe wait for a sale if you're only kind of on the fence, because it probably will go on sale, honestly, or clearance. Maybe, you know, Black Friday coming up in a couple months. We'll probably get that going on. But for now, I'm happy to have this, and I'm happy to show it to you, and let me know what you think. I'd also love to take a moment and thank these people here for supporting me on Patreon at a Black Series level or higher. Thank you so much for doing that. And like, share, and subscribe. All that stuff goes a long way. And I will see you later. Bye.